Hi everyone, this is Mike here with Computer Cuisine Deluxe 7.0. I wanted to create this video to show how you can upgrade your Computer Cuisine Deluxe 6.5 into the new version 7.5 along with your photos in your collection. Now, I made a previous video that was a little bit easier and a little bit more streamlined for people who do not have any photos in their collection and just want to import the recipe data. So you may want to view that video if you don't have any photos. Process is essentially the same, but we have an added step of extracting the photos for version 7.0. So right here, I brought both folders of the old version and the new version onto my desktop, but they're most likely going to be located in your applications folder if you're on a Mac, or on Windows, they're going to be located in your documents folder or wherever you chose to install the application. So going forward, we're going to want to, essentially the process is just extract the recipe data and photos from the old version and import them into the new version. So just to be safe, you always want to work from a backup. We're not going to be altering this version 6.5 old version in any way, shape, or form, but you never know. I'm always one of the people that wants to just stress, work from a backup. You can always copy this entire folder, the entire Computer Cuisine folder, onto a thumb drive, onto a different hard drive, burn it to a CD, do something like that, because all your recipe information is in this folder, not scattered somewhere on your hard drive. So if you ever want to just back up, just copy that folder to a thumb drive or something, just to be safe. So we're going to go ahead and launch that old version. Once we do, we will be presented with the 1001 recipes that comes with the old version. Now, your recipe collection might be completely different. You might have customized this for only your recipes. You might have 20 or 30 or just 10 or what have you. Or you might have 3,000 that were completely new and different. It really is your independent recipe collection from the old version. So once we go to the list menu, you can see that we have, since this video is focusing on recipes that have photos in the collection, you can see there are a handful of recipes that actually have photos. If you click on the photos tab, we only have six videos. So in this case, we only have one of six videos, or one of six recipes that include photos in there, but it's still the same process nonetheless if you had 6 or 16 or 60. So what we're going to do is we're going to first extract the recipe data from the old version, and that is done by going to the Tools menu and selecting Backup All Recipes as tab-separated text, no photos. I want to go ahead and do that, and that will create the backup recipe file in a tab format on your desktop. Once you do that, this file is now added to the desktop after this goes through its process. And this is all your recipe data. So this is all the 1001 recipes that you have in your collection, with all the ingredients, all the methods, every setting, that notes area that you've done. So that's the complete recipe data. Now, if you have photos in your collection, you want to extract all recipe photos. So the last step here from the old version is to extract recipe photos. It will tell you that it's going to extract all the recipe photos into your Computer Cuisine Deluxe folder. Click OK, and we're done. So once we quit this version 6.5, the old version, you're going to notice that now this folder here that just used to have the application and the data file, if I view by a list, it might be a little bit easier, has those recipes that have multiple photos, has them with the title of the recipe along with the number of photos per recipe. So for Asian spring rolls, we had 3 separate photos. For the amaretto sour, we just had 1, and so on. So here are your recipe photos that we've extracted from the old version. So we have everything we need to get started for importing into the new version, because here's our recipe data and here are all our individual photos. So once we have this all set up, we can launch the new version. So once we launch the new version, you'll see the icon's blue. You can tell it's version 7.0. We launch the new version and we're all set. So we have the 1001 recipes from the old version, from the new version that are included. And let's say we want to delete all of these because we just want our recipes in this collection. We don't want this 1001 recipes. Don't need them. We're going to import our old version. So we're going to go ahead and delete all recipes. You can it just gives you a confirmation. Do you want to delete all those recipes? And you say, yes, delete all. So once it goes through this process, it's now deleting all the recipe data. So now we essentially have a blank shell. Once we have this blank shell, we're going to then just import this recipes tab file, which is your old recipe data, into the collection. So we're going to go ahead under the file menu and select import recipes from Computer Cuisine version 5 or 6 backup tab file. That's that tab file we created on the desktop. We want to go ahead, choose all available, and there's that file right there that we want, recipes backup tab. I'm going to go ahead and select open. It's going to go ahead and process all that information and parse each recipe and create a new one for each. Click sort, and we are all set. So now we have all the recipe data into our collection, but we don't have the photos. So we just need to launch. Let me move these windows for you so it's a little bit easier to see. So now we have our recipe photos, and we have the new version. And so all you need to do is go to the list menu, and you will see that, let's say, Alaskan salmon chowder. Click on this one. Just go to the photos menu and take that first recipe that you had from the old version and drag it onto the box. That's it. So if you want to go to amaretto sour, same process. Go to the photo menu, drag it on in, and so on and so on and so on. So this works manually for recipes. Let's say we go to Asian spring rolls. There's 3 of them, just so we can get a nice little list. I'm going to scroll through the new version and go to Asian spring rolls. That's what we had before. Go to the photos menu, and we can go photo 1, photo 2, photo 3. We're all set. Now when we go back to the main menu for this particular recipe, you can see your custom photos in there. When we go back to the list menu, you'll see Asian spring rolls now has this customized icon showing that we have our own custom photos in there. You just simply drag those out, and that's how you get your photos into the new version. Now lastly, some people might say, hey, wait a minute, I have 5,000 recipes and 5,000 photos. This is going to be impossible for me to do that. Well, that's a excessive collection, and I can completely understand, because some people may want 10,000 recipes in their collection, or 20,000, or what have you. Understood. So if you fall into that category, there is one specific issue that comes up with the old version versus the new version. And one of those issues is that the new version is in a file format that is incompatible with the old version. So what that means is when you launch the old version, you do have the option of selecting under the tools menu to back up the entire recipe, including photos. And this is for people, like I said, with maybe hundreds of photos in their collection, and they just think that's ridiculous dragging these in manually. Okay, not a problem. You can back up your entire recipe collection with the old one, with the old version, and as it will say here, it will back up everything, and click OK. What that's going to do is create this cuisine collection.ini file onto your hard drive, and it's going to take quite a bit of time, because it's extracting everything, photos, recipe data, just every setting that you have, and it's creating a separate FileMaker profile. The problem is when you try to import that into the new version, it's, as I mentioned, in an incompatible format. So under those rare circumstances, what you can do is feel free to email me at the website, email me at the forum, what have you, and attach this INA file either via email, send it to me via Dropbox, what have you. I'll be happy to convert that for you. The problem is it's just there's no way to have that set up for automatic conversion, simply because the new features of version 7.0 have advanced features that do not work with extracting photos from the old version into the new version. It's just the way it is. But the reason I decided to move forward with the new version 7.0 is that the benefits far outweigh the negatives of anyone with an excessive photo collection, because I'll be happy to convert that file for you. So that's basically it. This is the advanced version of how to get your recipe data into the new version along with your photos. If you have any questions, feel free to go to inakasoftware.com. post a question in the support area and I'll be happy to answer that. Otherwise, you can email me directly and we can work something out to where I can upgrade this file format for you and it will not be a problem. Okay, thanks.